Welcome to Listen and Sleep. Find a comfortable position. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breathing grow a little quieter. Tonight, we will speak of the most silent of all yogas. To truly hear it, you must become quieter than your own thoughts. Somewhere high in the Himalayas, where the air no longer carries the scent of trees or earth, only cold and stars, there is a cave, a narrow entrance, stone walls smoothed by time, the darkness inside so dense it seems you could reach out and touch it. Before dawn, the silence here is of a particular kind, not simply the absence of sound, but the presence of something greater. The mountains hold their breath. The stars stand motionless, like candle flame in the hands of giants. And only the wind, now and then, touches the stone, lightly, almost apologetically. Inside the cave sits an old yogi, perfectly still, eyes closed. His face as calm as the surface of a deep lake on a windless afternoon. He is not sleeping. He is listening, not to the world outside, to the world within. His right hand rests on his knee, one finger raised and gently curved. He raises it slowly, very slowly, toward his face. It touches the skin just above his upper lip. He goes still. There, in the warmth of his exhale, in the weightless coolness of his inhale, he is searching for something that cannot be seen but can be felt. A barely perceptible movement, a thin thread of air from one nostril, slightly stronger, slightly warmer, and from the other, slightly quieter, almost sleeping. He smiles, barely, just the trace of a smile, like the light that is about to appear on the horizon. This man knows what the sages knew long before him, that in every moment of life, right now, as you lie here and listen to these words, through one of your nostrils flows the moon, and through the other, the sun. That your body breathes not merely air, but two ancient forces of the universe, and that whoever learns to hear this holds a key to something very simple and very vast at the same time. Swara Yoga, the science of breath. One of the oldest systems of knowledge in India, not the loudest, not the most famous, but perhaps the closest to us. because its subject is not distant gods, not complex rituals, not years of renunciation in the mountains. Its subject is what is happening right now, here, in the nostrils, in the chest, in the quiet movement of air that has not stopped for a single moment from the first breath to the last. Outside the cave, the sky begins to lighten, just barely. There on the horizon, something appears that resembles gray velvet, soft, hesitant, barely alive. This is not yet the dawn. It is only its promise. The stars do not go out all at once. They thin. They become transparent, like thoughts before sleep. The old yogi does not open his eyes. He continues to listen. He listens to what most people never hear, not because they are deaf, but because there is too much noise, too many words, too many worries, too much of everything that seems more important than one's own breathing. And yet, this breath never goes anywhere. It is here, always, with you, inside you. It does not grow tired. It does not ask for attention, and yet it is precisely what keeps you in this world, silently, without a single request for gratitude. Imagine for a moment you are lying down. It is warm. It is dark. Everything that needed to be done today is already behind you. And now, only this, only the quiet movement of air in and out. Only this breath, so ordinary and so strange if you begin to look closely at it. The ancients said, wisdom is not outside. It lives within the very first attentive breath. The yogi in the cave knows this. He has known it for a long time, but he also knows something else, something that makes this silence not merely beautiful, but alive, full. Right now, as you breathe, one of your nostrils is open a little more than the other. Just so, on its own, without your knowing. And this is not an accident. This is not a cold, not a posture. It is an ancient rhythm, woven into the body long before human beings had words to describe it. Before we can understand it, one quiet observation is needed. The simplest of all. Bring a finger to your lip, or simply pay attention, right here, right now. Which nostril breathes more freely. There is no need to answer aloud. Simply notice. That is the first step into the most silent of all sciences. The word Swara in Sanskrit carries many meanings at once. Sound, note, tone, flow. A voice that sounds by itself, without effort, without intention. It simply sounds the way a river sounds, the way the wind sounds, the way morning sounds before the first word has been spoken. In Swara Yoga, this word took on one particular meaning: the flow of breath through the nostrils, living, shifting, speaking. A flow in which, if you know how to listen, you can hear the entire inner world of a person, their state, their strength, their weariness, their time. Try it right now. There is nothing to do, only to notice. Bring the tip of your finger to your upper lip, or simply turn your attention toward the nostrils. Breathe as you normally breathe, quietly, without effort. And there, one side a little freer, a little more air, a little warmer. The other, quieter, narrower, barely open. This is not a cold, not the position of your body, not the temperature of the air. This is an ancient rhythm that lives inside every human being from birth. Every 60 to 90 minutes, the active nostril changes. The one that was open narrows. The one that was silent begins to sing. And so it goes, again and again, hundreds of times a day, thousands of times a year, throughout an entire life. Unnoticed, in the background, like the turning of day into night, only quiet, only inside. Think about it. 60 years of life. That is roughly 21,800 days. Multiply by 16 or 17 nostril shifts per day, and you have several 100,000 switches over a lifetime, each one unnoticed, each one real. When Western science turned its attention to this phenomenon, it was already the late 19th century. In 1895, a German physician named Richard Kaiser, studying the anatomy of the nose, discovered something strange. Inside the nasal passages, there is a special tissue, vascular, capable of swelling and subsiding. It is this tissue that regulates which nostril is more open, and it does so in alternation, with a steady rhythm, automatically. as though the body itself keeps a schedule. He called it the nasal cycle and was astonished by what he found. But the sages of India had known about this for thousands of years, not from anatomical atlases, from careful observation of themselves. They sat, they breathed, they listened. And what science would later record as the nasal cycle, they had long called Swara, and built around it an entire system for understanding life. This is one of those moments when ancient wisdom and modern science meet and regard each other with surprise, like two travelers who took different paths to the same summit. What is more remarkable still, modern research has shown that this nasal rhythm is connected to the activity of the brain. When the right nostril is active, the left hemisphere is more engaged, analytical, active, logical. When the left nostril is more open, the right hemisphere, the one drawn to imagery, quietude, and intuition. The body switches these modes by itself, day and night, in rest and in movement, without a single conscious instruction. We will return to that. For now, something else matters. What we have grown used to thinking of as background noise, the body's quiet hum, unworthy of attention, turns out to be a hidden clockwork, precise, living, tuned to something larger than any single person. Think of a clock, not an electronic one, a mechanical one, old, with a spring and gears. Nothing in it is superfluous. Every part does its work. The pendulum swings, left, right, left, right. And this simple swinging holds time together. Breath is the same pendulum, only finer, only more alive. One nostril to the right, the other to the left, and again, quietly, without pause, without rest. The ancients asked, if the body itself wound these clocks, then who wound them? Or what? What stands behind this rhythm? What does it say about the human being? About the world? About time? It was precisely these questions that became the beginning of Swara Yoga. Not a desire to control the breath, not an ambition to change the body, but a simple, honest curiosity. What is happening when I breathe? What is this quiet flow in and out? What does it carry within it beyond air? And if within each breath there live these clocks, if the body itself knows its own schedule, then there is something that wound them, or some force, or some wisdom, something older than any words. There is a book, ancient, not written on paper. They say it was first carried by voice alone, in a whisper, in the dark, by a fire that had almost burned down to ash. It is called the Shiva Swarodaya. In translation, it might be read as the rising of Shiva's breath, or the birth of breath from the lips of Shiva. The name itself sounds like an awakening, like a first breath. This book is the central text of Swara Yoga, its heart. Within it, 395 verses. Not so many, but the meaning of each is like a mirror placed before another mirror. You look and see a depth that has no end. It is written in the form of a dialogue. Shiva speaks. Parvati listens. She asks the questions, softly, with trust, with love. He answers, simply, clearly, without adornment. This image is not accidental. In the Indian tradition, the most important knowledge is transmitted in exactly this way, not through command, not through lecture, through a conversation between two who trust each other, teacher and student, husband and wife, God and goddess. Shiva, in this tradition, is not only the Lord of thunder, not only the dancer circling in a ring of fire, as we have seen him before. Here he is, the teacher of the most subtle of arts, the teacher of breath. Parvati asks, "What is this breath that never stops? What does it carry? How do we read its signs? How do we live knowing these signs?" And Shiva answers, verse by verse, image by image, gently, the way a river moves in a wide bed. Swara Yoga was considered a secret teaching. It is important to understand this rightly. Not secret because it contained something forbidden or dangerous. Secret because it was too subtle, too delicate to survive being scattered among people who lacked the necessary attentiveness. They say it was passed from teacher to student at midnight, when the world outside had grown still, when all that was loud and restless had stepped back. and only the fire burned low, casting the last red light on the faces of two people, the one who knows and the one who wishes to know. Picture that moment, warm ash, darkness all around. The teacher's quiet voice, unhurried, knowing that if you rush, the word falls into emptiness, and the student, listening the way one listens only when one understands. This is said once. There will be no second time. In exactly this kind of silence, true knowledge lives. We have already heard of Shiva, of Nataraja, of the great dancer spinning in the fire of creation and destruction. But here Shiva is different. Here he is still. Here he speaks quietly. Here his power is not in thunder and flame, but in one simple observation that he entrusts to the one he loves. And in this, there is something very human. Not gods in golden halls, but two people sitting side by side, and one says to the other, "Listen, I want to tell you something important. This knowledge is right under your nose, literally." The words of the Shiva Swarodaya are simple. This is not complex philosophy requiring translators and commentaries. These are observations, precise, verifiable, the kind that any person sitting in any century can take and confirm for themselves. This is exactly where their depth lies. They are written so that anyone can understand them. But to truly live them, that takes a lifetime. The ancients believed, learn to govern the breath, and you will learn to govern time. Not time outside, but time within. The way a single hour of your life flows. The quality of each breath you take. This sounds like a promise, but in this teaching, there are no promises of quick results and magical transformations. There is only an invitation, quiet, patient, like the whisper of a teacher at a dying fire. Look inward, right now. This breath, what is in it? What does it carry besides oxygen? Through which nostril does it enter? Which is warmer? Which is quieter? The book puts this question to everyone who opens it, and everyone finds their own answer, because the answer does not live in the book. It lives in the breath. But what exactly flows through the two nostrils? Simply air? Or something greater? Imagine that inside your body there are rivers, not blood, though there is that too. Other rivers, subtle, invisible, woven from something that cannot be touched, but can be felt. In the Indian tradition, they are called nadi, channels. They are counted in the many thousands, branching throughout the entire body like a network of streams feeding one great field. But among them, there are three principal ones. Two of them are Ida and Pingala. Ida is the lunar channel. It begins at the base of the spine and rises upward, winding around the center the way a vine winds around its support. Its nature is lunar, cool, quiet, feminine in the sense that the word feminine means here something that receives, something sa and flowing, not weak, but calm, like a deep lake at night. When Ida is active, which means when the left nostril is active, the mind grows gentler. Thoughts slow down. The body enters a mode of restoration. There is no wish to act, only to be. Not to speak, but to be silent. Not to conquer, but to feel. This is the lunar hour. Pingala is the solar channel. It also rises from the base of the spine, but in the other direction. Its nature is solar, warm, active. When the right nostril opens wider, the body wakes. The mind sharpens. A readiness to act appears, to decide, to move forward. Energy gathers and concentrates, like sunlight focused through a lens. This is the solar hour. Two channels, two rhythms, two ways of being, and both within a single body. They do not struggle. They alternate, like day and night, like the tide and the ebb, like two dancers who exchange places, smoothly, silently, without words. We have encountered this system before when we spoke of the chakras. There, Ida and Pingala, their nature and their dance, were described in detail. Here we look at them from a different angle, not from above as if over a diagram, but from within as a living sensation. Because Swara Yoga is not theory, it is experience. Try to feel it right now. If the left nostril is open, perhaps this is that quiet coolness spreading down the left side of your body. Ida, the moon, calm. If the right, warmth along the right side. Pingala, the sun, readiness. This is not a metaphor. It is a genuinely distinguishable sensation if you listen for long enough and in sufficient silence. But there is a third, between them. It is called Sushumna, the central channel. It passes straight through the very base of the spine, through the chest, through the throat, through the crown of the head. It is neither lunar nor solar. It is both at once, or perhaps neither. Sushumna is silent almost all the time. Most people never notice its awakening in their entire lives, not because it is unreachable, but because no one listens. It opens only when Ida and Pingala are balanced, when both nostrils breathe equally, when the moon and the sun meet at the point of silence. We will speak of Sushumna more fully. It deserves its own time. For now, about the pair that breathes within us every day. There is something wonderful in this. We have grown used to thinking that everything in the body works simultaneously, evenly, without fluctuation. Here is the heart, it beats. Here are the lungs, they breathe. But the body is arranged differently. It is rhythmic. It oscillates. It knows that one cannot always be both sun and moon. From time to time, one must become one, then the other. Ida says to the body, rest. Pingala says, act. And the body listens, quietly, without unnecessary words. Perhaps in this there is a hint for life, not only for the body. If you notice that you have not truly rested in a long time, neither outside nor within, perhaps your Pingala has held power for too long. If you notice that it has become difficult to gather yourself, that a kind of apathy has settled in, perhaps Ida has lasted longer than it should. The body knows balance. It seeks it on its own. One only needs not to interfere. Imagine the left half of your body filling with coolness, soft, like moonlight through a thin curtain, and the right with warmth, quiet, and steady like embers under ash, and they meet in the middle, in the chest, in the place where all roads converge. That place is Sushumna. That place is the silence between two shores. If there is a lunar hour and a solar hour within a single body, then every task has its own time, and rest has its own, and action has its own. All that remains is to learn to read this schedule. There is a scene in an old treatise. A commander prepares to march. The soldiers stand ready. Horses paw the ground with impatience. Banners catch the early wind. Everything is ready. But the commander hesitates. He stands with eyes half closed, and for a few moments, he simply breathes. Then he opens his eyes and says, "We march," or he says, "We wait." He was not watching the clouds. He was not casting bones. He was listening to his own breath. The ancients compiled detailed tables about what to do during each Swara. This was not superstition. It was accumulated wisdom from generations of people who observed themselves carefully and noticed. Certain things go better during the lunar hour, others during the solar. And they wrote it down, passed it on, verified it again. When the left nostril is active, the lunar Swara, the body is in the mode of Ida. This is the time for rest, for meditation, for an unhurried conversation where gentleness is needed, for creative work, where imagery, intuition, and delicacy matter, for traveling west or north, as the old texts said. This is the time for planting, for working with water, for everything that requires patience and quiet. This is the time for sleep. When the right nostril is active, the solar Swara, Pingala, the body is gathered. This is the time for labor, for physical movement, for eating, because the fire of digestion burns brighter when Pingala is open. This is the time for debate and negotiation, where firmness is needed, for decisions that require clarity, for physical exertion, for moving heavy things, for whatever demands drive and will. This division is not rigid. It is not a prohibition, but a suggestion. Like the suggestion of an experienced gardener, now the earth is ready. Plant. Now wait. It is not yet time. there was a simple piece of wisdom from the sages about eating. When you sit down at a table, bring the first bite to your mouth from the side of whichever nostril is currently active. If the right is open, the first bite from the right hand, from the right side. This small gesture aligns the body for receiving food, sets the right rhythm in motion. It sounds like a trifle, but in Swara Yoga, there are no trifles, because breath runs through everything. A merchant in an old treatise did the same thing. Before an important transaction, he would stop at the threshold of his shop, listen to his breath. If the nostril was not right for the conversation he needed, he might wait a few minutes until the rhythm shifted on its own. Or he might lie briefly on one side to prompt the change consciously. Lying on the right side activates the left nostril. Lying on the left activates the right. This too was known thousands of years ago, and this too is confirmed by modern physiology. If you are going to a meeting where gentleness and agreement are needed, wish yourself the lunar Swara. If you are going somewhere where you must stand firm and not yield, the solar. This is not magic. This is attention. Attention to one's own state before an important step, not after. There is something very wise and very simple in this at the same time. We often enter important moments of life on autopilot, rushing, unaware of ourselves or the air around us. And then we are surprised that things went wrong, that words came out sharper than needed, that a decision was made too quickly, that fatigue arrived at exactly the moment when we could not afford to be tired. Swara Yoga offers a pause, a small one, the length of a single breath, to stop and ask the body, "Are you ready? What is in me right now, the moon or the sun? And what does this moment require?" The body offers its own suggestion about what should be done right now. One need only listen, not command, not rush, but listen, quietly, without expectation. This does not mean waiting years for the perfect moment. It means being attentive right now to what is already here, to the rhythm that is already moving. Every person carries this living compass within them. It is calibrated. It is working. Only its needle is not magnetic. It is made of air, of the quiet current of breath through two nostrils. And this compass speaks not only of direction, it speaks of time, of what kind of time this is, for action or for rest, for words or for silence, for sowing or for waiting on the harvest. Breath is not only a clock, it is also a calendar, only not one with numbered pages. Its pages are the 5 elements of the universe, passing through a single, quiet breath. Within every breath, more than air flows. Time flows, only very small and very subtle, so small that the mind does not notice it. The mind is occupied with other things, words, plans, memories. But the body is silent and keeps count. It counts the elements. The ancient yogis, who looked deeply into the breath for years and decades, discovered something remarkable. Each nostril, over the course of 1 hour, while it leads its breathing, passes through 5 states, 5 elements, 5 tattvas, as if a small world lives inside you, and it breathes the universe. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. One after another, they enter with the breath and leave with the exhale. Earth comes first. It is slow, dense, warm at the base of the body. When the element of earth governs the breath, you feel a heaviness. Not the heaviness of weariness, but the heaviness of roots. Like a tree standing in the ground, unafraid of the wind. The ancients said, "This is the time for solid things, to build, to plant, to lay foundations." This hour within the breath lasts about 20 minutes. Then water arrives, flowing, cool, smooth. It does not ask where. It simply flows. When water governs the breath, the mind becomes more flexible. Thoughts do not cut, but curve around obstacles. This is the time for everything fluid, for preparing food, for negotiation, for writing something from the heart. Water, too, lasts about 20 minutes. Then comes fire. It rises from below upward. It is sharp, hot, swift. When breath carries fire, a readiness to act appears in the body, not gently, but firmly, not to yield, but to hold one's ground. This is the time for argument and decision, for cleansing and acceleration. Fire is in a hurry. It lasts only about 12 minutes. After fire comes air, light, changeable, nearly weightless. It clings to nothing. When the breath holds air, thoughts quicken and scatter in all directions. This is the time for travel, for new ideas, for conversations about something distant and beautiful. Air is shorter than fire, about 8 minutes. And last, the most subtle, comes the element of ether. It is barely visible and barely heard. 4 minutes, no more. The breath in these minutes grows so light, it seems almost absent. This is the time for silence, for prayer, for doing nothing and simply being. The ancients called this element space, akasha, the place where thoughts are born before they become words. 5 tattvas, earth, water, fire, air, ether. 20, 20, 12, 8, 4. A small cycle within every hourly breath cycle, again and again, thousands of times in a lifetime. But how does one know which element is in the breath right now? The ancients knew several ways. The simplest, to observe the shape of the exhale on a surface. They said, take a small mirror or metal plate and bring it to the nose. The shape of the mist is the key. Earth gives a wide, flat patch. Water, a gentle arc. Fire, a triangle, sharp at the bottom. Air, a broken, uneven shape. Ether, almost nothing, only a faint shimmer of vapor. Others watched the flame of a lamp as they exhaled near it. Fire breathes together with a person, and it knows how to listen. There were those who watched a drop of water poured into their palm. Earth does not ripple it. Water creates small circles. Fire warms it. Air carries the drop from the palm like a leaf. All of this sounds like poetry or like a dream, but behind it stands years upon years of observation. People who could read their breath in this way had no need of a schedule. They felt from within. Now it is better to work. Now it is better to be silent. Now it is better to eat. And now, simply to breathe and leave time alone. Imagine you wake up in the morning. You do not yet open your eyes. You do not reach for the telephone. You simply notice through which nostril is this first breath arriving. And if you listen longer, you can begin to sense the element. Earth brings a feeling of calm and stability. Water, a slight smoothness. Fire, the wish to rise and do something. Air, a gentle scattering of attention. Ether, silence and emptiness. This is not magic. This is attention. Simple, quiet, unobtrusive. Inside you is a small copy of the universe. It breathes the 5 elements of creation. Every hour, every nostril, every breath. Earth holds you from below. Water flows within. Fire warms. Air carries. Ether keeps silent and watches. Perhaps this is why the ancients so revered the breath. For them, it was not a biological process, but a sacred, round dance. Solemn, soundless, eternal. And still, who leads this dance? Who ensures that earth yields to water, water to fire, fire to air, air to silence? Who conducts this small universe within a single breath? There is one connection the ancients noticed very early. Earlier even than they assembled the first tattva tables. Earlier than they drew the charts of the nadi. They noticed it simply because they were attentive to themselves. When a person is frightened, their breath changes. It becomes short, rapid, shallow, as if the body is preparing to run. When a person grieves, the breath grows heavy, broken. It stumbles, stops, catches. When a person falls in love, they forget to breathe altogether. The air pauses inside, as if it wants to linger a little longer. And when a person falls asleep, the breath slows on its own. It calms on its own. It becomes even and deep, like a quiet river in the night. Everyone observed this, but the yogis of Swara Yoga went further. They asked a different question. What if it is not the mind that governs the breath, but the breath that governs the mind? What if the arrow is flying in the opposite direction? Try to notice this. When you are anxious, you do not choose to breathe quickly. It simply happens. The body knows about the anxiety before you are even aware of it. The body knows first. And if the body knows first, perhaps the body can be asked to say to the mind, be still. This is exactly what Swara Yoga affirmed, not the other way around. First, the breath, then the state of the mind. The yogis tested this again and again. A simple experiment. When the left nostril is active, try closing it with your finger for a few minutes. Hold it. Let the right work alone. Within a few breaths, not hours, breaths, something shifts in the mind. Thoughts become a little sharper, a little faster. The readiness to act rises slightly. Now the opposite. Close the right. Breathe only through the left. And again, within a few breaths, something quietly slows. Thoughts lose their edges. The body becomes a little heavier, not from weariness, but from rest, as if someone turned the volume down. The mind follows the nostril. It is strikingly simple. Modern researchers have confirmed this, though they use different language. The right nostril is connected to the left hemisphere, the one responsible for logic, speech, sequential thinking. The left nostril is connected to the right hemisphere, the one drawn to imagery, spatial awareness, and intuition. When you breathe through the right, the left hemisphere activates slightly more. When through the left, the right. The ancients did not know the word hemisphere, but they knew this differently. They called it solar breath makes the mind gathered and quick, while lunar breath makes it soft and flowing. Different words, the same knowledge. Feel this now, if you wish. There is nothing to do. Simply bring a finger beneath your nose and notice. One nostril breathes more freely. This is not an accident. It is the state of your mind right now, expressed through the body. If the right is active, you are most likely in a mode of activity at this moment. Thoughts are running. It may be a little difficult to stop. If the left, you are already moving toward rest. The mind is gently softening. Words reach you more slowly, more as images. And both states are right. The body knows what is needed. The yogis went further still. They maintained, if you know how to shift the nostril, you can govern not only the breath, but your state of being. Not through force of will, not through self-suggestion, through the body, through a simple physical action. This idea was revolutionary. Not think correctly and the body will respond, but listen to the body and the thoughts will respond. They taught, do not fight the mind. The mind is quick, slippery, elusive. It escapes every attempt at control. But the breath, here it is, cool and warm. You can feel it with your finger. You can work with it quietly and without struggle. There is no need to stop thoughts, only to change the nostril, and the thoughts begin to change on their own. This was not a metaphor. This was a practice. The coolness of air at the left nostril, the warm touch of a finger to the right, a slight shift in pressure, nearly imperceptible, and inside, a quiet movement, as if someone turned an invisible lever. Anxiety does not vanish in an instant, but something at its foundation loosens slightly. The breath grows a little longer, the exhale a little deeper. And in this small change, the beginning of peace. The mind does not govern the breath. The breath governs the mind. Whoever knows this truth holds something greater than any words about self-control. They hold a quiet key, which has always been here, at the tips of the fingers, in the cool thread of air, in the barely perceptible movement just beneath the upper lip. And if breath governs the mind, what else is it capable of? What else does this quiet, endless thread between the body and what is within it hold? In a village in India, many centuries ago, a healer would come to the bedside of the sick. He did not immediately look at the tongue or feel the forehead. First, he took the hand. He held the wrist with 2 fingers. He listened to the pulse. And then he watched the breath, through which nostril it moved, whether it was steady or not, how long the right held sway, and how long the left. This was knowledge transmitted not in books, but in touch, from teacher to student, from grandfather to grandchild, in the silence beside a bed of illness. The ancient physicians of India said, disease begins where the rhythm of breath is disturbed, not in the lungs, not in the blood, in the rhythm, in the alternation. The body is arranged so that the nostrils shift roughly every 60 to 90 minutes. This is not an absolute rule. It is a balance. And when this balance is broken, when one nostril dominates an entire day while the other barely opens, this is a sign. The body has left its rhythm. Too long on the right, too much Pingala, too much fire. The body overheats. Fever appears, or irritability, or insomnia. That particular kind where you lie down and the mind will not stop, keeps running like an engine. Someone forgot to switch off. Too long on the left, too much Ida, too much moon. The body begins to dim. Sluggishness appears, apathy, heaviness, cold hands, the unwillingness to move. A sorrow without a name, the kind that cannot be explained in words, but which many people know. Heat and cold, motion and stillness. Too much of one is disruption. Too little of the other is also disruption. Health is equilibrium, rhythm, a pendulum swinging evenly. And so the first thing Swara Yoga did as a healing practice, it taught the restoration of this rhythm. The methods were several, all simple, all physical. If the nostril needs to shift, lie on the side opposite to the one you want active. Want the left to open, lie on the right side. Want the right, lie on the left. This works within minutes. The body redistributes pressure on its own. Another way, gently hold the active nostril, not hard, not forcefully. Simply rest a finger there. Let the other nostril take over the breathing. Within a few breaths, the shift will happen by itself. There were subtler methods too. Warm one palm. Inhale warmth. Cool the other. Inhale coolness. Change the posture of the body, the tilt of the head, the direction of the gaze. The body listens. And one of the simplest and most ancient pieces of advice concerned sleep. Before you lie down, make sure the left nostril is active, lunar, calm, cool. If the right is active, simply turn onto the right side for a few minutes. The left will open. And then lie down to sleep. Sleep will come more gently. The body will enter rest more easily. This simple advice was the foundation of 1,000 years of Indian medicine. not a complex diet, not expensive remedies, simply the right nostril before sleep. And another piece of advice: before eating, let the right be active, solar. The fire of digestion burns brighter when Pingala is open. Food is absorbed better. The body uses it more fully. A student sitting with a teacher learned this not from books. He learned it by counting his own breaths, hour after hour, day after day. He noticed, today the right opened later than usual, and by evening the body was tired. The day before yesterday, it had not shifted before a meal, and the stomach was heavy. When he lay on his right side, he fell asleep more quickly. This was a slow education, not through the mind, through the body. And gradually, the student began to see the body is not an enemy to be tamed, not a machine to be repaired. It is a wise companion, one who speaks, only very quietly, through the nostril, through the rhythm, through small signals that the mind usually misses. Feel this now. Perhaps you are lying on a particular side. Perhaps one half of the body is a little warmer. Perhaps the breath is a little deeper on one side. The body is saying something right now. It always is. The only question is whether you are hearing it. A small, warm observation before sleep. A small piece of physical wisdom. And in this wisdom, more medicine than it may seem. More of the ancient care for oneself than in any complex teaching. The body knows how to heal itself. If we do not interfere, if we listen to its rhythm, if we allow the nostrils to do their quiet work. But the most astonishing thing does not happen when one nostril predominates. The most astonishing thing happens when both become equal. There are times when the pendulum pauses for a moment at the very center, not to the left, not to the right, precisely in the middle. And in that brief instant of balance, time seems to pause as well. This is what happens when both nostrils begin to breathe equally. It does not happen often, not on a schedule and not on command. It simply arrives, most often at the boundary between one breathing cycle and the next, when the right has almost yielded and the left has not yet taken full force. In this interval, a few minutes of silence, 2 minutes, 3, sometimes 4. The ancients called it the Sushumna hour. Although there is no hour in it, only a few precious minutes. Sushumna is the third channel, central. It does not move left or right. It runs straight through the center of the spine, from its very base to the crown of the head. In ordinary life, it is silent, almost always silent. Prana moves through Ida and Pingala in alternation, like 2 banks of a river. And Sushumna is the river itself, the one that flows between the banks. And when both nostrils become balanced, Sushumna wakes, briefly, quietly, without effort. In these minutes, something changes. It is difficult to describe in words because it is not a thought and not an image. It is more like the absence of something, the absence of inner noise. Thoughts do not stop. They simply become more distant, as if you are watching them from a certain remove, calmly, without being drawn in. A strange sensation appears, as if time has slowed or stopped, or as if it is not there at all. In the Shiva Swarodaya, it is written, "This is the best time for meditation, a door that is open for only a short while, a door behind which lies silence, not emptiness, but silence, living, quiet, full." The yogis learned to sense this moment. They did not interrupt themselves when it arrived. They did not think about it, because any thought about it already interrupted it. They simply allowed it to be. Through long practice, years, sometimes decades, a yogi learned to sense the approach of this moment, a little before it arrived, and through still longer practice, learned to hold it, not by force, not by holding the breath, but by a gentle presence, the way you hold water in an open palm, without clenching, without tension, otherwise it flows between the fingers. 10 minutes, then perhaps an hour, eventually, longer still. This state is the same one we spoke of before, when we described Yoga Nidra, the state at the threshold between sleep and waking, when the body has released itself and the mind is still present, quietly, without agitation, when you are neither asleep nor awake, when you are exactly in the middle. Sushumna is this middle, expressed through breath. Feel this now, if you wish. Bring your hand close to your nose, very close. Breathe slowly. Try to notice. Are both nostrils equal right now? Or is one breathing a little more freely? Simply notice. Without judgment, without the desire to change anything. If they are nearly equal, you are already at the threshold. The same coolness in both nostrils, air entering symmetrically, as if not the nose, but the whole chest is breathing. The entire chest, from the collarbone to the ribs, breathing as a single whole. Between two banks, a river. Between the sun and the moon, a third light that has no name. Not cold and not warm, not fast and not slow, simply even, simply real. In these rare minutes of balance, the ancients said, a person is closest to themselves, not to their thoughts and not to their desires, to what is deeper than thoughts and desires, to what was there before words. This is not an achievement. This is not a reward for correct practice. It is something that is always present, simply waiting for the pendulum to grow still. And when it grows still, in that silence there is nothing superfluous, only breath, and the one who breathes, and something third, nameless, which exists between them. Swara Yoga in its depth leads here, not to the governing of breath, not to the schedule of tattva, but to this quiet, brief, elusive balance, to Sushumna, to the river between the banks. Breath knows the way there. It has always known. It carries within it a knowledge that the mind cannot hold. Too subtle, too swift, too quiet for thought. Perhaps this is why the ancients believed. Breath knows more about you than you know about yourself. It knows not only what is happening now, but what is to come. Breath knows more than the mind. This is not a poetic phrase. It is an observation that is thousands of years old. And among all the observations that Swara Yoga gathered, there is one particular kind, the most mysterious, the kind that concerns not hours and not days, but an entire lifetime. In the Shiva Swarodaya, among 395 verses, there is a section that the ancient teachers passed on with special care, quietly, not to everyone, only to those who were ready not merely to hear it, but to carry this knowledge gently, the way you carry fire in your palms on a windy night. This section is about reading the signs of breath, not fortune-telling with cards and bowls, not stars and omens, something far closer, about what is happening right now in your body, in every passing moment. The ancients believed breath senses what the mind does not yet know. It is the first to detect change within and without. Like animals that leave a valley hours before an earthquake, not because they know, but because they feel. Breath is the same kind of subtle creature. It lives in the body, but it hears something larger. The simplest sign reading in Swara Yoga concerned ordinary human affairs, trade, meetings, negotiations, journeys. When a yogi or a sage was approached by a person with a question, the first thing the teacher observed was from which side the questioner stood, right or left. If the person approached from the side of the active nostril, this was considered a favorable sign. Breath is open in their direction. The flow of prana moves toward them. The matter will work out. If from the side of the closed nostril, it was better to wait, not because the world is against it, simply because the time is not yet right. The pendulum has not yet swung to the needed side. Commanders, before setting out on campaign, did the same thing. They sat down, pressed a finger to the nostril, listened. Right nostril active, good. Time to move. The body is gathered, the mind is quick. Strength is flowing. Left, better to wait, or change the plan, or lie briefly on the left side until the Swara shifts on its own. This was not superstition in the way we understand the word. It was practical wisdom. Over many centuries of observation, people noticed connections that could not be explained, but could be felt. The body is not a separate object in the world. It is woven into the rhythm of the world. And breath, the finest thread of this weaving. There was another way of reading the signs, by the direction of the air's flow. If in the moment of the question, the air from the nostril flows forward, that is one thing. Downward, another. Upward or to the side, a third. Each direction carried its own meaning. Imagine how this looked. A person sits beside a fire. They bring a thin feather or a slender reed to their nose. They watch how the air deflects it, slightly to the right, slightly down, only a little, almost imperceptible. And in this barely visible movement, the answer to the question that had troubled them all night. Of course, this required long practice. Years of observation were needed, of remembering, of comparing. When the breath was like this, what happened afterward? When it was otherwise, what followed? Gradually, in these records, a pattern would emerge, not a random one, a recurring one. But the most mysterious section of the Shiva Swarodaya is not the reading of circumstances. It is the reading of a life. The ancients watched the breath of the dying for a long time, with patience, without fear. And they noticed this. A person who is drawing near to death often begins breathing through only one nostril for several hours, sometimes longer, not because the nose is ill, because the body is beginning to quietly set things in order, to put aside what is no longer needed. And the alternating rhythm, breathing through one nostril, then the other, begins to break. This observation should be received in silence, not in fear, because its meaning is not that death is terrible, but that the body knows about it in advance, that death is not a blow, not a severing. It is a gradual thinning of the thread, and breath is the first to feel this. If the right nostril stays open through the night without closing, this is a sign of agitation. The body has been in a mode of action, tension, fire for too long. If the left does not open for several days in a row, another sign. The lunar channel is closed. There is no rest, no restoration. The ancient healers said, illness begins with a disturbance in the rhythm of breath, long before it manifests in the body. And here we arrive at something important. All of this, the signs, the readings, the interpretations, is not meant to frighten, not to cause a person to live in anxiety, checking their nostrils each morning in fear. It is for something else, for humility, for attentiveness, for living not beside oneself, but within. Breath is the thread that connects the body to time. When the thread begins to thin, breath knows first. not so that we are afraid, so that we have time to say what matters, to do what is worth doing, to be with those we wish to be with. Swara Yoga taught us to look at life as breath, the inhale, an arrival, the exhale, a departure, the pause between them, something that cannot be named, but can be felt in silence. And the whole question is how you live within this rhythm, whether you rush, whether you hear it, whether you notice that the pendulum has already swung. Perhaps the deepest meaning of reading the signs of breath is not to learn the future, but to arrive in the present, because only here, now, in this one breath, can anything be changed. Only here is breath real. Only here are you real. Everything else is already past, or a future not yet arrived. Breath lives only now. And this quiet science, which gathered its observations over thousands of years, says one thing: be here. Listen. The thread is in your hands. While it is alive, every breath is an opportunity. Do not let it slip by in the noise. But Swara Yoga never stopped at observation. Behind the signs stood practices, simple ones, available to anyone, not to the yogi, not to the sage, but simply to a person living an ordinary life. Swara Yoga does not live in caves. It lives in ordinary homes, in cities, in families, wherever there are people and breath. And this is what made it so valuable. It does not need to be won through years of seclusion. It is already here. Most people simply pass through it without noticing. The ancient teachers understood this. They knew that not everyone would go to the mountains, that most people have children, work, a market, a temple. And so, among the verses of the Shiva Swarodaya, alongside the deep descriptions of Sushumna and the subtle pictures of the elements, there are very simple instructions for those who live in the world. The first practice, in the morning, just before rising from bed. Barely having opened your eyes, still not having sat up, still not thinking about the day's tasks. Bring your palm to your face, or simply turn your attention to the breath. Which nostril is breathing more freely right now? Right? Pingala is active. The body has woken in solar mode. alertness, readiness for action, a gathered mind. Left. Ida. The body is still in lunar rest. It needs a little more time to enter the day. Step out of bed on the side that your breath suggests. If the left is active, the left foot touches the floor first. If the right, the right. This is not superstition. It is agreement with what is already happening inside you. A small gesture of attentiveness that begins the day. One such morning observation will not change anything. But if you do it every day, for a year, for 2, for 3, patterns begin to appear. You start to notice that on Pingala days, it is easier to make decisions. On Ida days, easier to think. That the body knows something about the coming day that the mind does not yet know. The second practice, before something important. A negotiation, a meeting, a significant conversation. Shortly before it, bring a finger to the nostril. Check. If breath is moving through the right channel, good. If not, there is no need for alarm. A single, simple action is enough. Lie on your side, on the side of the active nostril. Right now, for a few minutes. The body will redistribute its pressure, and within 3 to 5 minutes, the nostril that was closed will become active. This works almost every time. This is how the body operates, gently, requiring no effort, simply following its own mechanics. You can also press lightly against the active nostril from outside, not blocking it, just touching. The body will sense a slight resistance and begin shifting the flow on its own. The ancients knew this technique. They called it simply to guide, not to force. This is an important word, to guide, not to force. Swara Yoga was never about doing violence to the body's nature. On the contrary, it is about understanding how the body moves on its own and gently assisting that movement. The third practice, for sleep. If you cannot fall asleep, lie on your right side. When you lie on your right side, the left nostril gradually opens. Ida is activated, the lunar channel. Cool, calming, quiet. The mind begins to slow. Thoughts lose their sharp edges. That strange heaviness in the eyelids appears, the kind that comes just before sleep. This is not magic. This is physiology, which the ancients discovered long before the words physiology and nasal cycle existed. They simply observed, noticed, remembered, and passed it on. Imagine an old woman is putting her grandchild to sleep. The child cannot settle, keeps turning. She says quietly, "Turn on to your right side." Just that, without explanation, because she had known this since childhood from her own mother, who knew it from hers. A chain of knowledge reaching back into the depth of time. And in it, this simple truth about the left nostril and sleep. The fourth practice, for the quietest hour of all. The ancients said, the hour before dawn is a special time. Night has nearly gone. Day has not yet come. The body has completed its deep sleep, but has not yet entered waking. In this interval, if you listen carefully, you can feel. Both nostrils are breathing almost equally. Sushumna is open, that rare minute of balance. If you wake in this hour, do not be in a hurry to fall back asleep. Lie still. Do not think. Simply breathe. Notice how air enters and leaves. Notice the silence between the inhale and the exhale. This silence is the very thing that long practices strive toward. Now, it has come to you on its own, without cost, without effort, simply because you are here, in this body, in this hour. There is a subtler practice as well, for those who wish to go deeper. It requires no postures and no chanting, only attention. Throughout the day, several times, simply notice which nostril is active right now, how you feel in that moment, what is happening around you. Is there calm? Is there anxiety? Are you tired? Breathe a little more slowly than usual. Not more deeply, more slowly. Lengthen the exhale by 1 or 2 counts. That is all. Nothing more is needed. Within a month of such observations, you will begin to notice subtle connections. Within a year, they will seem clear. The body is not a dark forest in which you are lost. It is your home, simply one with many rooms you did not know about. Swara Yoga is the map of this home, drawn in breath. The old teachers said to their students simply, "Do not fight the breath. Only listen." In a year of listening, it will teach you everything on its own. In 2, you will understand that it has been teaching you since the moment you were born. You simply were not hearing it. All of this for life in the world, for the person in the city, for the mother with children, for the merchant in the market, for the teacher in the school, for everyone who breathes, which means for everyone. But among all the practitioners of Swara Yoga, there are those who went further, much further, to where the road ceases to be a road and becomes silence. There are places in the Himalayas where no trails lead, only the tracks of mountain goats on stone, only wind which sounds different at altitude, drier, finer, more piercing. And there, in the crevices of rock, or in small caves worn smooth by centuries, people live. There are not many of them. There are fewer and fewer. But they exist. They speak almost not at all. Not because they have taken a vow of silence in the way we understand it, with a solemn oath and witnesses. Simply because, with time, they understood that words disturb something very subtle. Every spoken word is an exhale under effort, a change in the rhythm, small, barely perceptible. But when you have lived for years in attentiveness to rhythm, even this small change has meaning. And so they fell silent, gradually, the way a river falls silent as it sinks into sand, not with a sudden stop, but dissolving. Their principal practice is observation, not control. Precisely so. Because Swara Yoga, in its highest form, is not control, not a technique, not a means of achieving a result. It is simply a gaze, a long one, unwavering, attentive. Year after year, they observe the breath. They watch Ida yield to Pingala. They watch the elements pass through one by one. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. They notice that morning, air breathes differently than evening air, that the air changes before rain, that the breath slows at the full moon, that something elusive happens in the body at the moment of sunset. They see all of this, not because they possess a special gift, but because they have been looking long enough, because attention directed for years at a single point becomes sharp as a needle. And then, one day, it does not happen on a particular date, not as a result of a particular exercise. The observation becomes so fine that something is discovered which was not heard before, something that was always there but had gone unnoticed. The emptiness between the inhale and the exhale. Not long, very brief, perhaps a second, perhaps less. The inhale has ended, and before the exhale begins, there is a tiny interval where nothing is happening, where the body has gone still, where there is neither entry nor departure. Most people never notice it. It is too small, too quiet. Life is too loud to hear such a silence. But the yogis notice. And what they discover in this pause cannot be described simply. They call it by various names. In the Shiva Swarodaya, it appears as Kevala Kumbhaka, a natural stillness, not the breath retention of pranayama practices, which we have already heard about in connection with the teaching of Patanjali. Not an effort, not a voluntary act. It simply happens. The inhale has ended, and the breath has stopped on its own. For a moment, for two, sometimes longer, not because it must be done this way, because this is what happens when the observer is sufficiently still. In this stopping, they say, time disperses, not slows, disperses, vanishes somewhere, the way morning mist vanishes over a river, and the body continues to be, and the breath continues to be, but it no longer belongs to me. Here the words come to an end, because belonging to me is already a story, already the past, and in this pause there is no past, no me to whom anything belongs. There is only breath, simply breath, the breath of the universe itself, passing through what used to be called I. The sannyasins, wanderers who have renounced the world, those whose path we will hear of yet, understood this better than most. They went to the mountains not to flee life. They went toward something that cannot be found while the market is roaring around you. Something that requires silence, years of it, complete. In this tradition, Swara Yoga is not a separate practice. It is life itself. Every breath, a practice. Every pause, a door. Once a student asked a teacher, "How much time is needed to reach Kevala Kumbhaka?" The teacher was silent. Then he said, "As much as it takes to stop being in a hurry to get anywhere." This is not a paradox. It is a precise answer. Kevala Kumbhaka is not achieved. It is discovered. When effort ceases, and along with it, the one observing the effort, then in the gap between the inhale and the exhale, what was always there appears. Emptiness, not the emptiness of absence, the emptiness of silence. And in this silence, the root of everything we call meditation. It is the state that the ancients sought in different traditions, by different paths. One sat beneath a tree and looked. Another repeated the name of God 1,000 times. A third observed the breath. But at the end, at the very end, where all roads lead, there was one thing. This pause. All of Swara Yoga is a long journey toward one single moment, when the one observing the breath suddenly understands that they too are only breath, that there is no observer. There is only the movement of air, and the pause, and the movement again, without beginning, without end. Imagine a yogi in a cave, the hour before dawn. Outside, silence. Only somewhere far away, a bird calls. Inside, a silence even deeper. The body unmoving, the breath barely perceptible, the chest almost still, air entering slowly, leaving slowly, and between them, a pause. In this pause, he does not think. He does not observe. He does not practice. He simply is. Or not even is. Simply, without a word, without a name. This is the most silent of all yogas, because in the end, it leads to where there is nothing to do, where there is no practice, where there is only what has always been. What remains when even this last thought disappears? The thought that something remains? The cave again, dawn again. The old yogi sits in the same posture as at the beginning of our journey. Eyes gently closed, spine straight, a finger at the nostril, a light, familiar touch. He is checking, simply checking, the way you check whether a door is locked for the night, calmly, without worry. Outside, the first ray of dawn touches the snow on the peaks. A pink light, very thin, works its way through the crack in the cave. It falls on the stone, on the dust, on the folded hands. Inside, the same quiet rhythm. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. So it was thousands of years ago. So it is now. So it will always be, as long as there is life in this body. He smiles, just barely, not at happiness, not at enlightenment, simply at the morning. We entered this story with a question that may seem almost strange. Why did the ancient yogis believe that the nostril through which you breathe right now determines everything? Your mood, your success, the outcome of your affairs, the hour of your death? Why was such meaning given to something so simple, so quiet, so unobtrusive? Now the answer is a little clearer. Not because the nostrils are a magical organ, not because the ancients were naive or superstitious, but because they understood something that we have spent a long time forgetting. The body is not a machine in which the mind resides. The body is consciousness itself, living, feeling, intelligent. And breath is its voice. Not a metaphor. Literally, breath speaks. It speaks of the condition of the mind, of the health of the body, of the rhythm of the day, of the quality of time. It speaks without ceasing, but very quietly, more quietly than thoughts, more quietly than anxieties, more quietly than the familiar voices in the head. All of Swara Yoga is the art of listening to this voice. Not a complex art, not a secret one, not one requiring initiation and a special transmission. Only one thing: attention, quiet, patient, without goal. You are breathing right now, in this very moment. While you hear these words, air is entering through one nostril a little more freely. An insignificant difference, almost imperceptible, but it is there. It is always there. In this simple fact, there is more ancient wisdom than in all the books in the world. Not because knowledge of the nostrils is profound, but because the ability to notice the subtle is itself an enormous step. Because the one who has learned to notice the subtle in the breath begins to notice the subtle everywhere, in the movements of the body, in the shifts of mood, in the rhythms of the day, in the way the world changes together with you. Swara Yoga is not magic and not superstition. It is the most subtle of all forms of attentiveness to oneself. Through breath, the world speaks to the body. Through the body, to the mind. Through the mind, to what is deeper than the mind, to something for which the right word has not yet been found, but which everyone has felt at least once, in silence, in a moment of peace, in the pause between two breaths. There, where the observer disappears and only breath remains. The ancients said, "Within every person flow the sun and the moon, two great rhythms of the universe, hidden in two streams of air. The right nostril, solar warmth, action, the light of midday. The left, lunar coolness, rest, the reflected light of the night. And between them, a fine central thread which wakes in the rare moments of balance. Every person is a small universe, with their own sun and moon, with their own tides and turnings, with their own dawns and dusks, and all of it in a simple breath. You do not need to become a yogi. You do not need to go to the mountains. You do not need to change anything in your life right now. Let the first practice be the simplest of all. Tomorrow morning, barely having opened your eyes, notice which nostril is singing a little louder in that first moment of a new day. Simply notice. Do not think about it. Do not analyze. Only notice. That is enough. Nothing more is needed. Because attention is already a practice, already a path, already something changes from this one quiet glance at oneself. The old yogi at the cave has long known this. He did not strive toward knowledge. He simply listened, year after year, breath after breath. And one day, the listening became so still that he could no longer tell himself apart from what he was listening to, could no longer tell the observer from the breath. Dawn spreads across the snow. The bird calls again, closer than before. A small cloud passes the peak. The air is cold and clear. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale again. The same rhythm as 1,000 years ago. The same as it will be 1,000 years from now. Ancient as the mountains themselves. Quiet as snow that falls in the night. This is yours. It has always been yours. You have just remembered. Sleep peacefully. You have been listening to listen and sleep.